Hello, everybody. Just going to wait a few minutes for everyone to join. Thank you so much, Andrew, John, Noel, Peter's here. Hey, Peter. Thank you all for joining. It's good to see you all in the live stream and the launch party. This is going to be really fun. Really excited about this. We'll give it a couple more minutes, so just hang in there, okay? Hey, David, how's it going? Hey, well, everyone, we're just going to wait a couple more minutes while people join. While you're waiting, put in the chat where you're from, where you're tuning in from today. Love to see who we got. New Jersey, all right. All right. Thanks everyone for joining. We got quite a few people in here. I'd love to see it. Awesome. Welcome, Carlota. You are tuning in from Central Florida. Welcome. And Peter from Belgium. And we got Boston in the house, India in the house, Nigeria. Yeah, Colorado Springs, west of Ireland. All right. Colorado. All right. All right, let's get this thing kicked off. Thanks for joining, everyone. And if you don't know me already, my name is Chad Crowell, and I'm a Kubernetes and DevOps instructor and also a consultant. And I've been doing this for a while. You may have seen me at A Cloud Guru or KubeSkills or other one of the many platforms that I have used to share my content and also share my learning, because that's what it's all about, right? It's all about sharing what you know. It's I go by the saying of learn, practice, and teach. So that's what I like to live by. And if you're here today, you're probably amongst that same belief. So thanks again for joining. And I'm just going to go through a quick slide here and just walk you through just what KubeSkills is all about. Get this party started and things launched in the community, and hopefully we'll get a lot of traction in the community and be able to help a lot of people together. And like I said, that's what it's all about. It's helping people. It's a beautiful thing. So let me share my screen and we'll go through these slides together. So give me 1 second. All right, so KubeSkills, what is this all about? So I created KubeSkills to, like I said before, share, have the opportunity to share all of our learnings, but specifically around Kubernetes and container orchestration. So I've been a trainer for about 4 years now, and 4 or 5 years, and I've really enjoyed the process of, sharing what I'm learning and also being able to see other people grow too, right? And what I noticed is, it's not easy. I noticed that people have struggles with trying to, stay on track with learning these new technologies and being able to just have a friend to learn with and to hold you accountable in some ways is really helpful, really impactful. And so that's why I created this community. And we are gonna, drag people if we have to across the finish line and help people to achieve their goals, and especially as it relates to Kubernetes. So I'm really excited about that. So here are the common challenges. Like I said before, it's not easy, and these are challenges that we all face, me included. Excuse me. And it really comes down to having a community to lean on. But let me see if this resonates with you at all. So I've had challenges before, which include learning on my own. So whether it's on the job or otherwise, trying to learn new technologies, not just to keep up with the current trends and the current where the industry is headed, but also when it comes to having to learn something in order to perform your job. You know what I mean? I can't even tell you how many times I've been in a situation where we're going to implement this thing, and it's like, oh my goodness, okay, I need to really either refresh my skills or learn this whole new topic. And it becomes a lot more stressful. It's not really the most fun way to learn, right? When you're under pressure, you have to do this, or you're constantly kind of rushing through content to try to absorb it as fast as you can. But those are some challenges, right? You have some challenges around that, in that you're on your own and you have to do this training, or you have to learn this thing in order to accomplish your do your job and accomplish the things that you're being paid for, right? So also some challenges that come along with that are, maybe sitting down and watching a course on Udemy or a Cloud Guru or Pluralsight, and just kind of going through the motions, right? And there's a statistic out there that says that we only retain about 10% of what we hear. So that kind of, it's convenient to be able to listen to videos, and I've created many video courses, and so I know how much you have to rewind the video, right? And you have to maybe digest in a different way, and it depends on the instructor, right? You hear different things at different times, but also you hear things from different people, the way that they speak, their dialect, their mannerisms, what they are actually saying, right? It sometimes it sinks in, sometimes it doesn't, right? We all hope, as instructors, we all hope for you to have that aha moment, right, where you're kind of it all starts to make sense, but that's not always the case. So, and it's hard because the one way that you're teaching, or the one kind of platform that you're using, is not always working the best for everyone, right? Each person learns differently. Each person learns at their own pace, right? So, and then another thing is, once you finish a piece of content, or a lot of times what I've done is, I've gone through a course or gone through a book and been like, okay, what's next, right? You probably know what I'm talking about, and you have these challenges as well, where you've learned all this, in the case where you're trying to shift your mentality a little bit, shift how the way that you think about things, so that you're now in a new frame of mind to kind of to learn these new things that you're learning. And a lot of times, either the content is not thorough enough, or it doesn't go deep enough, or you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, I know it all. I know all that's in this book or in this course. Where do I go next? You know what I mean? What who can point me in that right direction? So some of the challenges that we face here. So like I said, I'm included in that. So I'll tell you a little bit of a little story. Back in 2017, yeah, 2007, 2017, I was working at a small fintech startup, and I had to migrate their financial app from EC2 to AKS. And I don't know if anybody has used AKS back in 2017, but it's certainly not as mature as it is today. So that was much more of a heavy lift than than it is now. So at that point in 2017, I'd never used Kubernetes before. I've heard of it, but never really, got hands-on with it. So I was thrown into the fire, being that we were moving to AKS. There was no turning back. And I was in that situation that I explained earlier, which was, I had to learn this stuff to do my job. And I was the only one in that case, which was performing this migration. So it was, kind of a do or die situation, or do or get fired. So I had to learn everything from scratch, right? Because I had no idea where to start, where to begin, what to do, where to look. There were a lot less Kubernetes resources at that time. And so it was a little bit more difficult in trying to learn everything. And so I purchased every book I could, every course I could find, but I couldn't solve a specific problem that was right in front of me. You know how, so sometimes when you are faced with a problem, you think through all the different ways in which you can solve that problem, but sometimes it's hard to get out of it, or it's hard to look at it from a different perspective, right? So you are maybe focused on, okay, how do I use, in my case, it was using configuration management with Ansible, and how do I use that to configure my cluster, which was what I was doing, and in particular, I was dealing with secrets and having to not only rely on the not only having to rely on the the secrets, the secrets object in Kubernetes, but also having to incorporate Ansible in there and have use things like secrets in Ansible, or what are they called? They're called Vault secret. Ansible Vault. So using Ansible Vault is my particular problem at that time. It's hard to remember. It's back in 2017. So forgive me if I'm it's a little bit fuzzy. But nonetheless, I was determined to. I had to really learn this. I had to learn AKS. I had to learn Ansible and how to configure my cluster using Ansible in tandem with AKS. And it was a very, very stressful time. And I hated going into another stand-up and not knowing even the solution, or even how to approach the solution, right? So in our daily stand-ups, I would be like, oh, okay, well, I'm researching this, and I think I know a couple things to try, but I'm not really sure. Have you ever, just for whoever's listening, have you ever been in that situation where you're just like, I don't have a solid solution, and maybe the project owner is asking you, or the scrum master is asking you, like, when can you have this completed by, or can you complete this within the sprint? And you're just like, oh, I think so, and you're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And so just raise your hand if you've ever been in that situation, because I have more than a handful of times. And so I hated going into that stand-up and just sort of feeling like a failure. So I was stuck. I needed someone that knew enough about Kubernetes, and knew enough to have me have that, to allow me to have that aha moment, or just to get unstuck. You know what I mean? Look at it from a different perspective, or just try to think of it in a different way. There's also been a lot of times in my career where, I've been working on a solution, and, you go deep into, Googling and working on different solutions, and you start to get off on tangents on things, and then you start to kind of reel it back. But once you've committed to this solution, it's like, it's hard to back out of it, right? Because you've invested so much time and energy. And so, but sometimes it takes one person just be like, hey, have you ever thought about doing it this way? Or have you ever thought about, maybe looking at it from a different perspective, and instead of only, narrowing your focus on this thing, maybe look at this thing over here. So it really, for me, in a lot of ways, it just takes sometimes talking to someone and talking through the solution, and to just hear not only yourself say it, because that sometimes helps too, right? Because when you're trying to explain it to someone else, that helps, but also when someone reverberates it back to you, and you're able to see it through their lens. So we've gone through the challenges, and I want to kind of, continue my story, but kind of like frame it into a solution a little bit, and try to have you kind of understand, why this community is so important to me, why KubeSkills is really foundational in your learning and your growth. And so to continue that story, I constantly was getting stuck and kind of beating my head against the wall. Later in my career, a few years later, I was a part of a small team that um, it was a little bit different in that we were all kind of working together towards a common goal. We each pushed each other, listened to each other, gave each other feedback. What was really interactive and kind of open philosophy in terms of everyone was available and open to hearing new things, new perspectives, etc. And it wasn't about the individual, whether you always go to, let's say you always go to Paul, or you always go to Dave, or whomever. You always go to Mike to ask the question because he knows everything. It wasn't like that, as it had been in the past. It was a really interesting and cool thing to be a part of, in that everyone's working together towards the same solution, and not one person could do it by themselves, without the kind of the collective brains of everyone. Does that make sense? So, we always talk about like, teamwork and putting our brains together and, kumbaya, but it's really, working together to kind of, there's this saying called standing on the shoulders of giants, right? So there's a way to kind of build on each other, and putting all of our collective brains together. No one person's going to be able to achieve it on their own. It takes that it takes that group. It takes that kind of collective energy, that collective kind of chemistry of people, and yeah, it's the secret sauce. So it's really kind of foundational. It's kind of it was really transformative in my life and in my career, and I'm trying to portray that here because I think I'm trying to capture that kind of special sauce, if you will, to try to um, harness some of the things that we are going to talk about and be about in this community. So I hope that resonated with you. I'm going to take a short break here just to check the comments. And so if that resonated with you, just give me raise your hand, or give me like a thumbs up emoji, or give me like a cool GIF or something, just to make sure that you're still paying attention and still there and still with me. Yeah, Noel, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So kind of those are the solutions that I see, and some of the difficulties that we face as engineers or developers, right? When we're going about our daily job, or trying to tackle hard problems, right? It's not always in the manual, right? we have to. It takes great teams to achieve great things, and I'm a firm believer in that. So to kind of not toot my own horn, but just show you some of the testimonials that I received, which also kind of fuel me to keep going. These are really important, not just because they are showing kind of the success of individuals, and just showing how I've impacted had a small impact on other people's achieving their certifications. But I just wanted to provide a little bit of motivation for you, because if these people can do it, you can as well. And so I love collecting these testimonials from social media. And so I'll just go through a few here. I have a lot more, thankfully. I'm very grateful to have so many successful students in both my courses and books. So, whether it's, passing your certified Kubernetes administrator exam, or, just feedback based on taking a course, or just like a, hey, thanks. I relish in all of that. So as you can see, all these people, they've achieved their CKA certification, which is super important, and deserves to be celebrated, and is a really hard exam, right? And there's a reason why there's so many resources out there to help you pass this exam. One being my courses and book that's out, but just it shows you that, how many people have passed this certification, and how many people will hopefully go on to gain inspiration from this. And like I said, if these people can do it, so can you. All right, so let me paint this picture of a new world. I kind of painted a good picture before, but let me try to kind of summarize it all up here. So in this new world, or let's start with the old world, right? So in the old world, we used to consume content from books, where you read words on a page. You maybe take a course, you move through kind of quizzes or labs, if you will, and go through kind of the step-by-step process of learning. And it's all kind of, you're consuming all of that, right? And you're the one taking that all in, and really trying to harness the best of it. Like I said, sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. You're basically, you're a consumer of all that information, right? It's only output, right? You're not able to interact with that at all. So the new world that I'm trying to create here, and I'm not trying to create a world, so to speak, but I'm trying to create a new way of thinking about how to consume content, and how to learn, really. And this new world, and we see a lot of it in the industry as well, in terms of Web3 and machine learning and AI. But everything's moving towards a more interactive experience, right? You no longer go to somebody's blog and read the blog, and that's it. You no longer go through consuming content, or just reading a book, and then that's it. The expectation, or where the industry is going, is more along the lines of interactions, and being it being an immersive experience. So that this KubeSkills community is trying to emulate that. And it's really about having an experience to where you feel like a contributor, right? You feel like an owner. You can help other people, which in some ways, at least for me, has been the best way to learn, right? If you're able to not only consume the content, but also teach it back to other people, that's how you really lock it in, right? And that's how you really start to master a subject, and that's how you really start to be able to learn and to grow. And so along with me, I'm kind of inviting you along this ride with me to be a part of this new world, but also to kind of help each other and lift each other up, and so we can all stand on the shoulders of giants together, right? And I will be the main contributor in that, but it's kind of a big deal for me, at least, to be a part of this community, and to be kind of leading in how we're thinking about this kind of new age of learning and how we're thinking about learning new technologies, and especially when it comes to learning Kubernetes. So, all right, so the URL, and by most likely you've already been to the community, but let's just check it out real quick. So community.kubeskills.com is the link here. So once you log in, you'll get brought to a page similar to this. So this is what the community looks like. I have dark mode, but you can change it to light mode if you want. So that's pretty cool. But beyond that, let's just go through the sections that I want to cover here. So we have a section of certifications, which, if you haven't heard of any Kubernetes certifications, I would encourage you to check that out. It includes links on not only how to sign up for the certification and schedule your exam, but also some tips for studying, and some highlights of what it's like to go through these certifications. And if you have these certifications, or if you're currently going through them, it's kind of like a study group, right? So you can post your study sessions, or as you're going through a course, or as you're learning new things, and as you're starting to study for the exam, you can have a study buddy and somebody that can either hold you accountable, or try to help you along the way, and try to unlock some of those things so you can understand them better. And I'm going to be a main contributor in that, and I will be a force for sure to help you achieve those certifications, because what I like about certifications is it provides a really good blueprint for what you need to know in the industry, and not only to be a Kubernetes administrator, or a Kubernetes security expert, or an application developer. It's really covering all the bases. Like I said, providing a good blueprint to here's all the things that I should know in order to perform my job, or perform a job that maybe I'm applying for. And that is really important in terms of not missing anything, not being caught off guard, not being not having any surprises, right? And then we have the start here section. So I can close the certification section, and let's focus on the start here. So we have announcements, which are the just announcements about the community. So I told everyone about the iOS app. I should have put iOS there, sorry. But there's the app that will, if you have iOS, can keep you up to date with everything going on in the community. And then, of course, the launch party was another announcement that I had. So Say Hello is another space where we can introduce ourselves, and I will be calling out certain people that have recently joined. And at the end of each month, I'll just say, hey, these are the people that have joined this month. Go ahead and give them a thumbs up, or I always like gifts. So if you want to send me a gift, that's cool, and I encourage you to share funny gifts with other people too. And so here's if you haven't already, please do say hello. We have a lot of people saying hello already, but we love to hear kind of not only just saying hello, but also where are you located, and what do you do, and what do you want to accomplish in this community, and all the things that that brought you here. So that's important. And then we have an events page, which we'll have more of in the future. So we have events, including this launch party, which you are currently watching, and then we'll have events show up here in this kind of format where you can just click on RSVP, and then you say you're going or not going. So that's a cool way to keep up on certain events like this that we're holding. And then the welcome checklist. So the welcome, like if you've just joined the community, you can go through the welcome checklist, and it's saying hello, checking out our upcoming events, check out the Ask Anything page, and then share your skills with us or tell us what you've learned. And then celebrate wins. If you just passed certification, just got a promotion, or learned something new, please share it here. We love sharing. Sharing is caring, as I tell my daughter. And so we all love to share and, just kind of relish in your success. So that's very important. Got to give yourself a pat in the back every once in a while. And then there's the Ask Anything. So the space is for asking anything, really anything Kubernetes related. So if it's, I can't quite, figure out how to use Terraform to spin up my AKS cluster, or, whether it's, I can't figure out how to, attach an environment variable or a volume to my pod, stuff like that. So this is where you can ask anything, and it could be asking anything about the community too, like who out there has this experience, or who out there can help me with this. So it's also a lot of that. Okay, so moving down to the Kubernetes 101 section on the left hand side here. So we this is a kind of work in progress. So we're going to have a Kubernetes 101 course. And so you'll go in here and you'll see welcome, lessons, and then course chat. And this is just a chat where you can, either talk about the latest lesson, or you can chat about anything related to the course. So this is what that format will look like, and we'll fill this in the coming weeks. So this pro members down here, you probably won't see that. I do have a special invite if you tune in to the end here, so stay with me. I have a special invitation to the pro members section, but this is a invite only pro members section where we'll go through, actually let's go through it right now. So let me tell you all about the pro version of KubeSkills. So KubeSkills Pro includes weekly calls. So we'll get on a call just much like this, where we'll talk through certain things. We'll all be in the weekly calls. We'll all be able to kind of chat with each other. So it won't be as much of a one-way as it is right now. So you'll have the opportunity to speak, and you'll have the ability to we'll have guest speakers, and there'll be networking opportunities, and just getting to meet everyone that's in the KubeSkills Pro program. In addition, there's additional course content. So we'll go into not only, we'll kind of go beyond Kubernetes 101 into additional course content, which was more specific, like, how to work with certificates in Kubernetes, or how to use stuff like AppArmor, or how to secure your cluster, or working with AKS, EKS, GKE. And then we'll go through a customized learning path. So we'll develop a learning path together that's customized for you, and it's good because it's right where you need to be. I don't know about you, but I have gone through a lot of content, especially now, and it's like it's a lot of rereading, right? It's a lot of, I'm having to go over stuff a lot. So it's so important to be able to eliminate all that, and then be able to kind of start at the place where I know that I need to start at. You know what I mean? So you're not wasting a lot of time revisiting content that you already know, or revisiting subjects that you are already familiar with. You want to start where you need to start. All right, so the first cohort of KubeSkills, the KubeSkills Pro, starts on the 26th of September, so in a couple weeks here. And this is just a brief overview of kind of what's in store. So it's a 5-month program, and it's, like I said, customized learning path. So in month 1, we develop that learning path and go through certain assessments that will help you along the way, and also give you a good starting place, right? So if you don't know where to start, or maybe like I said before, if you don't want to revisit a lot of subjects that you already know, then we start to develop that together. And so we go into tracking progress and kind of the middle of month 1 and month 2, more of as soon as we get that learning path together, we're kind of off to the races, right? So we could start and then track our progress along the way and make any adjustments. So that's the adjust method, and see where you're at and what areas are you competent and what areas are you lacking. And then we'll go into the first milestone. So this should be whether it's a certification exam, or it's a promotion, or you're applying for a job, or you're just trying to gain that skill set. Whatever milestone it may be, whatever goal you're trying to put on for yourself, that's going to be the milestone, and what we're going to achieve in month 3. Beyond that, it's kind of the second progression. You kind of learn from the first iteration, the first 3 months. You've been doing this for a while, so now you get kind of an idea of how to go through the content, how to study, how to reference materials that you have learned before, so you can quickly go back and be like, oh yeah, I knew that. And then we start to fuel the progress beyond that. So based on that previous kind of knowledge base, you get to just kind of boost yourself forward, put on the afterburners and just kind of go into a whole new world. And then beyond that, there's the so you're rocketing to kind of achieving the second milestone, and so we start to progress towards that in month number 4. And then at month number 5, not for the whole month, of course, but at the end, we work on kind of celebrating wins, right? Because all along the way, we're doing this for a reason, right? And we don't just do this to do this. You have to give yourself kudos. You have to give yourself a pat on the back every once in a while, and really let yourself know that it's worth it. I'm doing this for a reason. This is the outcome. And I keep hitting that key on the keyboard. Sorry. All right. So what's so we've talked about the KubeSkills Pro membership. So weekly calls, networking opportunities, additional course content, guided progress, customized learning paths to start where you need to. What would you say is a good kind of price that you'd pay per year to have this kind of customized learning experience and adventure, if you will? And let's see if anybody has any guesses. So let's go over here. You may have already seen it in the slides, but yeah. So just in the chat, just guess, what would this be worth to you if you were to have? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not trying to say it just to say it. So what would this be worth to you for the whole year? All right. Well, no guesses so far, but that's okay. So for a yearly, we've crunched the numbers, and we've looked at the data, and for a yearly kind of KubeSkills Pro membership, and I said that the first cohort was 5 months, but it's continuous. So beyond the 5 months, you just reiterate on that, set new goals. Kind of, this is where we revisit things, and we try to determine, what achievements do you want to go for next, or what is your next goal? And it keeps kind of building on itself. So we've crunched the numbers. We've kind of looked at the data, and this is what we've come to, which is $4.99 a year. And $4.99 a year, it's basically what you would pay for like a subscription to a Cloud Guru or to like O'Reilly or any platform like that. But I think it's much more value because of the things that we talked about. It's highly customized. The interaction is there. It's not just the consumption. You're an active participant, right? So, but the good news is because you're here today, and for the next 24 hours, let's do 48 hours actually, because it's the weekend, and so for the next 48 hours, I want to give a special price for people who are watching this right now. And so I decided to have this be a one-time price of $2.99. And this means that you pay $2.99 and I never charge you again for anything in the future. You're a lifetime member, and that's it. And so $2.99 is a really good deal in my opinion, and it's forever, and it lasts forever. So $2.99 for life. So this is a pretty good deal, and it's only for the next 48 hours, and it's only for you watching right now. And so if you go to community.kubeskills.com/checkout/limited, you can get that price for the next 48 hours. If you go to that link, you can enter your information and you can pay the $2.99 one time for life. And so again, next 48 hours, go ahead and check that out. And I look forward to seeing you in the pro membership community, and taking your skills to the next level, and really really achieving a lot together. I really look forward to it. It's a small passion of mine to come out here and do things like this, and I think I just think it's going to be great, to say the very least. So KubeSkills Pro. All right, so that about wraps it up. Let me stop sharing. There's my. All right, so yeah, so you can access that link right now, and for the next 48 hours, you can be a part of our first cohort. So I'm really excited about that, and would really be excited for you to join. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I'll give a couple minutes kind of room for people to type in their questions. If you have any questions about the community itself, or what we're going to be covering, or what we're going to be learning, any more questions about what is this KubeSkills thing, just let me know, and we'll wait a couple more minutes for the questions to kind of roll in here. All right, so while we're waiting for the questions to roll in, let's just cover. Well, I'm already over on time, so I won't cover that right now. I'll do a post about it, about these certifications. I was gonna cover the certifications as well. Kind of the order of certifications is KCNA, CKAD, CKA, and then CKS in terms of the order in which you would take them, or what I would suggest if you're kind of starting from the very beginning. I specialize in the CKA exam, so if you're taking the CKA, I encourage you to send me a DM or a private message, and I would love to help you with that. Can the subscription be paid monthly? let me get back to you on that. I'll let you know. Right now, I just wanted to do kind of that one-time offer, kind of that. But Andre, send me a message in the community here, and we can work on it. I can let you know. But yeah, let me get back to you on that. How long would you allow for preparing for the CK exam? So, based on your experience, and so let's say you're not familiar with Kubernetes at all. You're not using it in your job. You're just a beginner. I would say give yourself 3 to 4 months to prepare for the CK exam. But if you are using Kubernetes at your job, whether it's even if it's AKS or EKS or GKE, even the managed Kubernetes, even OpenShift, I would recommend more like 2 or 1 month, especially if you're using it on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's kind of the range there. But Noel, if you are interested in the CK exam, please send me a message, and I can. I'd like to learn more about where you're at and give you an exact kind of preparation time frame. Do you help members in their job search? John Paul, thank you. Yeah, I hope to do that in the pro membership, or I plan to do that in the pro membership, I should say. And so that's kind of the objective in the KubeSkills Pro, is to help people on an individual basis with some of their goals. That includes, searching for a job. If you want to become a Kubernetes administrator or a DevOps engineer, or a QA, or a any of those jobs, we'll help you with that as well. All right, thank you. So I am going to end the stream now. I appreciate you joining, everyone, from all around the world. I really appreciate it, and I'm so happy to see you. And we'll keep going in the community. Please, if you haven't already, please post your hello message in the introduction section, and look forward to seeing you in the community doing some great things and achieving your goals. So bye, everyone.